Hey guys, so I thought I'd do this quick video. After this post, I had a member of this group message me privately on Facebook to ask me about my experience so far with the DashClicks team. Oh, that light's annoying. So I thought I'd just do this quick video just to recap some of the stuff that I told him. Obviously, it can be, especially when you're a digital agency owner, putting, I guess, your reputation on the line, everything into a white label company or anyone that you outsource to can be a daunting experience because you having not worked with the guys, you don't have that sort of 100% trust because you haven't really worked with them before and you haven't seen them, I guess, in action. So essentially, the questions I got from this gentleman on direct messages was that everything looks great, a little bit skeptical because he hasn't had that many other agency owners come out with a really as strong testimonial as what I had just posted before. Obviously, we're still in the early stages, so to give you some background, I'm launching a digital agency specifically in the luxury service market. So a big thing for me with a lot of these companies that would probably be spending money already on possibly digital marketing services or in marketing in general, because there are companies that I'm looking for that have money to move, essentially, like the guys talk about all the time. So for me, finding a company to work with that could really deliver, and not just deliver, but to the highest quality of standards, and especially have a platform like the DashClicks one behind them that makes us look so much professional and advanced, was really important to me. And to give you some background, so I'm based in Australia. I have pretty much towards the end of last year, start of this year, been toying around and doing a lot of test projects, I guess, with a lot of other, or at least a couple other resellers, white label companies. I contacted another company in America. I won't name the names just out of respect, and I don't want to shit talk anyone, but another company in America and another company that's based in Australia. Now, to give you some background, the pricing for the company in Australia, so they outsourced they had a lot of people working for them from India and the Philippines, even though they were an Australian white label company. Their prices were bargain basement. So to be upfront, their cost prices were probably about half the price of the DashClicks team. However, and it was what I made clear to the guy that messaged me, my experiences with them were very, very poor, and I'd have to waste a lot of my own time doing certain things. So the experience with these guys, to give you an idea what other white label companies looks like, the experience with these guys is they had an order page website. I'd go in, obviously it's the same sort of thing as DashClicks, press it, put my order in. Now the important thing to note here was that if a customer was coming on for SEO, Google ads, Facebook ads, I'd have to do a separate order form and page with the customer's details, everything like that, for each service. From then on, it would obviously go to their team. They would create a Basecamp project and invite myself into a Basecamp project for each individual service. So, for example, if I've got customer A and they've got Facebook ads, SEO, Google ads, they'll create a Basecamp for each one. So it gives me so many different bloody platforms that I have to go in to manage these projects, rather than, for example, with DashClicks, where I've got the one Slack channel, everything is communicated within there. In terms of the onboarding stuff, we've still got that one platform where everything is really linked and all together, easy for me to track as well as the project manager or director or owner, someone managing these campaigns. From then on, the onboarding sequence, so once they created that Basecamp project, to start the project, the actual onboarding sequence for them literally required me to get the only thing they provided was PDF of the questions, and some of the questions were very poorly written in English. So what I had actually done before I found out about DashClicks was pay a developer to take those PDFs and create a Google form mimicking those questions, and every time a customer would come in, they'd fill out Google form in, and it would be automated from there. Then I'd have to take those answers, relay that onto the team, and of course, if anything was missing, had to go back and forth, and it would be a nightmare. So this is another positive, even though DashClicks margins prices are higher. Literally, the onboarding sequence, as you've probably seen in all the videos from DashClicks, is so automated, out of my hands, that it's even though they're cheaper, it's honestly probably saves me anywhere from 5 to 10 hours work per customer. This is pretty much what I had estimated, and if you factor in that I can spend that 5 to 10 hours per customer, especially if I want to scale up, doing other things, it's honestly worth it. And then on to the actual delivery. So my experience so far, obviously with DashClicks, I've signed up for SEO, social media marketing, funnel building, and correct Google Ads for my own agency. The experience so far is exactly what you've seen in the videos. Signed up, put through the fulfillment, got through the onboarding documents, went in, logged into my own account, obviously, and filled in all the questions. Now, the best part of this was exactly what you see in the videos. There were some questions there where I wasn't 100% decided or sure what to put in. So it did take me a couple of days to, I guess, fill in a couple of the other things, or maybe I hadn't created in the social accounts that I wanted to do myself yet. And the best part was the autosave, where I could fill everything in, leave a couple of questions, autosave for me to come in and do in a couple of days later. And in that process, because it took me 3 or 4 days, just about it, 3 or 4 days to fill in those documents, it actually sent me reminder emails to my actual, my project management account. So not my customer account. Actually, I think I might have as well. Can't remember. It was a few weeks ago. But it sent me a reminder email saying, hey, onboarding documents need to be completed, etc. So it's really good at keeping you in the loop and having that whole process automated. From then on, when I completed those onboarding documents, I literally next thing I got was an invite to, obviously being myself as my first customer in DashClicks, I got an invite to a luxury branded, or my own branded Slack channel where they had all the delivery guys in there. I'm gonna have a quick look. So it looks to me, I'm just gonna move my phone a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's at least 8 people in the delivery team that I'm in with. So they've created a Slack channel that has just a general everyone Slack channel. And then for me specifically, there's my branded Slack channel. And as each customer comes in, what they will do is create a channel for each customer for various communications. Now the guys have been very open. Like I said to the other gentleman that I messaged, they've actually been, because I do work a full-time job as well as trying to launch this agency, they've been, and obviously a bit of a time difference, me being in Australia and them being in Florida, they've been on my case for stuff. So rather than me having to chase up what's going on from the delivery team, they're on my case. They're like, hey Reagan, we need this video done, we need this information, and they keep bugging me. And also being very open so far with everything in terms of, I can even message these guys, they're giving me feedback like I've written on my videos and everything like that. Essentially, the counter experience with the Australian agency that was cheaper was I signed up a couple internal stuff to be done for us. Again, similar thing where I wanted to test some of their services like on a trial. It took me 1 month to get copywriting for one landing page from these Australian guys that were bargain basement and based in the Philippines and in India. And a lot of some of the other stuff that I had done, their reporting was honestly pathetic. Like the templates they used were so bad, so unprofessional. I would not represent this to some of the companies that I want to be working with. And English was poor, so obviously the data's there, so it would require me to spend even more time to actually pull that data, put it in our own template, fix some of the English, then send it to our customer. And what I've seen so far, the DashClicks guys, particularly obviously, nothing against some of the outsourcers based in other countries, but being American based, the English, everything is very professional. And I honestly don't even, a couple of things they've sent through to me, I don't even have to proofread. They probably can proofread what I write. So that's the sort of the counter experience between a really cheap bargain basement white label company where it took me 1 month to get copywriting for one landing page. The reporting was really poor. Obviously they didn't have the transparency of the platform. The relationship literally would have looked like me communicating with a customer, getting a PDF report once a month that's A, poorly written, B, would require me to butcher it and put it in our own template and send it to the customer. That's pretty much the level of transparency we would have had. So we don't have all this API driven platform, everything like that. So as I said to the other gentleman that I direct messaged, they were bargain basement prices, but you got bargain basement service pretty much. So if that was as bad as they took to do copywriting for one page and some, I did a trial SEO a month or two with them, I would hate to see them in charge of Google ads, Facebook ads, and more advanced campaigns for some of these customers. I would not have trusted them. The other avenue was I had talked to another American white label company as well, and the pricing was absolutely ridiculous. Like I'd probably be looking at like 20% margins at prices that are already very high. So to the customer pricing that I would have to charge would have been out of this world, especially with me trying to invest money into my own front end. So I'm paying obviously like a B2B specific lead gen company and a sales guy that's going to help me close deals, and obviously investing in a bit of Google Ads and SEO stuff myself. The price that I would have had to have sold, even if I didn't go in 20% margin and I put it up higher, the actual end customer price would have been ridiculous. It would have been very hard for me to sell. Plus, like their pricing structure was very complicated. So their pricing, to give you an example, you were looking at, for some of the features, it was like $150 per hour. So say you had to spend a minimum and then you would get a certain amount of hours, right? Say someone was going to do Facebook ads or something like that. There'll be a minimum of like a 5-hour, 10-hour commitment that you'd have to pay up front. And then anything over that would be like $150 per hour. So how would I turn around to my customer and bill them an easy monthly retainer when I literally have no idea what the cost would be or any estimation of how long these services is going to take to execute? So pricing was ridiculous. I didn't get thrown off to test the services because it was just the pricing, like I said, ridiculous. The margins were low and very unpredictable, hard to structure. And again, I mean, I didn't get that far. I doubt they would have had the level of reporting and transparency that the DashClicks platform has. Now with DashClicks, I signed up, I think, let me double check. I think mid-April. My Slack channel was created April 9th with them. Again, like I said, we're about to launch Google Ads now, so we're just finishing up stuff. They provided me with scripts, custom tailored scripts, custom tailored ebook, everything for like the funnel and the lead gen campaign. And like I said, they've been on my ass. So with the Australian guys in the base camp, I had to constantly bump them. Sometimes it'd be a couple of days, no reply, find their reply, oh, here's the first draft, etc., etc. These guys are on my case. And the reason it's taken so, not even that long, but what are we looking at? I'm probably coming on just over 2 weeks. Is literally all my fault. Because like I said, I work in 9 to 5 as well, corporate 9 to 5. In Australian time zone. It took me a few days to complete the onboarding stuff, and they're literally, like I said, on my case. Oh, this might be falling out. Literally on my case to get some of these deliverables. For me, I have complete faith now in. I'm trying to. I spend a bit of money in the front end to bring in customers. So as an agency owner, especially working a full-time 9 to 5 job, I'm trying to take some of the money I'm making, putting it into my own agency, and I want to try and get the best people doing everything in different segments of my business. So I've got a B2B lead gen person working on that front end and the sales for me. So obviously I can still have to do my job at the moment. I'm not going to just throw it all in the water. I've got, in the next couple of weeks, I've actually completed a series of interviews to hire a US-based quality project manager, and I've got complete faith that I'll team them up with the DashClicks team in terms of delivery. I've got people in each segment that can deliver to super high quality. So from the outside point of view, if I can direct that traffic and be more the vision guy and make sure that it gets done, I know that we're in a good place. So I've got, like I said, lead gen sales. I'm going to have a project manager assisting me, and then the DashClicks team absolutely smashing. And I have no doubt that the DashClicks team, from my experience so far, like I said, we haven't launched the first campaign yet, but it's all relative as well, right? So some of you guys are coming into this not having worked with white label companies or outsourcers before, so you only see what you see in the front end. But trust me, for someone that's, like I said, played around with a US-based, another US-based white label company and an Australian-based one, they are well and truly exceeding my expectations in terms of obviously the platform and the resources here. So none of these other agencies provided the resources in terms of videos, support, advice, guidance. Not once did I have a call with someone like Angel where he was freely giving me business advice and the best way to do things. Not only that, but Chad can probably attest to, I've annoyed the shit out of him a few times with pushing him for extra info and case studies and stuff like that, with very, very quick response time. So I've had, for example, with the Australian one, I got put in touch with their so-called customer service project manager on Skype, where I would send him messages asking for information or some example case studies and stuff. And I shit you not, it took sometimes not a reply at all, and then sometimes a weak reply. So when I mean like a weak reply, in terms of I would message him asking him some questions, no reply for a week, I would ask him another follow-up question, then he'd finally reply answering that and the one from a week ago. So far, so good. Love everything with the DashClicks team. If this is what it's like for the first 2 weeks in terms of just setting up the campaigns, I can't wait to see the level of detail and everything they go through with the actual campaigns themselves. So like I said, I've got them doing SEO for me, Google and Bing ads, including the directory stuff. So I'm already there. I literally can see all the live stuff in the directory already, and the SEO and the funnel building part. So I can't wait to see the actual finalized funnel. But everything so far, so good. I thought I'd do this testimonial for Chad and the guys because I put up this post and had a DM, so I thought I just want to recap everything and just put it out there and just be honest with my experience so far. Apart from that, have a great day, guys, and I hope you appreciated that.